Well, welcome. Sorry, didn't see you there. I've just been concocting the most intricate story known to mankind. Move over, Stephen King. Mark Twain's got nothing on me. I've just discovered Novel AI, and I'm going to use it to create the ultimate story the world has never seen. For years, people have used their hands to do the writing, maybe even a computer or two. But today, we will use AI at its finest to create the ultimate story. Let's dive in. Novel AI is the premier storytelling AI interface. With this, you can create stories from your wildest imagination. You can start from scratch, you can start with a prompt, and you can even modify an existing story to fit your exact wants and needs. Novel has also been hard at work in creating new innovations in storytelling. For example, you can now generate images, and now they even have an entire text-to-speech interface that you can play around with. For now, let's dive into the storytelling. We're going to come in here and we're going to click on New Story. Now, what's great about this is that it can not only tell you a story and give you ideas and whatnot for your own story, it can take you on an interactive choose-your-own-adventure journey. A journey through trials and tribulations. A journey of triumph and defeat. All being able to be modified by you at any point in time. Let's dive into Storyteller for now. I'm going to click on View All Scenarios. So if I didn't have an idea to start with, or if I wanted a good jumping off point, Novel AI has this entire library. All of these. You can be a warrior, you can be a princess, you can be a sea villain, you can be whatever you want to be. An inanimate object, you can have your own harem, you can do whatever you would like. And it all starts here. So you can see that a lot of these tell you the person that it's in. It'll tell you if it's a text adventure. It'll tell you if it's based in fantasy. It'll tell you where it takes place, the genre that it takes place. Hey, for our purposes, let's start with Dream Diary. As you can see, each and every one of these is written by an individual person. So if you are a storyteller and you are great with words, you can always upload your own story so that others can edit a story based on your imagination as well. Enter into a surreal world of your dreams where anything can happen. Once you click on the prompt, it's going to give you this exposition. Each exposition will be different based on the prompt that you chose. Also, if you chose a text adventure, this bar over here is going to be slightly different, and it'll tell you what you can do versus what you can say. Here, since this is a storytelling adventure, we just have this simple bar. However, when you go into this story, you can click on this dictionary, and you can actually put in some lore to the story that you have already. You can put in some lore for the characters, the locations, the events, and the environments. So let's take a look at here first and what you can add so that the AI knows how to respond and how to react to what you say. You can click on an entry or you can click on a category, and you can get really deep into this. For today, I'm not going to do anything here, but if you were to create a story that continues on and you want to create multiple branches off this one story, for example, you can come into here and it'll tell the AI exactly how to react and how to address people as well. So you can go here, you can do prefixes and suffixes, you can change specific phrases that you want it to do, you can give it context, right? If you click on entry, you can click here and it'll put in specific points in a character's development where if you get to it, it'll do something special. For right now, we're going to keep all this the way it is, but let's take a look at this story as it is right now, and then we'll continue on with it and see what Novel AI comes up with. Again, this is as creative as you want it to be. I am not the most amazing storyteller, but using this AI, maybe we can get to a James Patterson or Stephen King level. You might be able to get even further beyond. After a long day, it was finally time to retire to bed. I laid down to rest, pulled up the covers, and drifted off to my ever-awaiting slumber. I was always fond of dreaming, All of my dreams seemed so surreal, so strange, that I couldn't help but dream a dream diary, a record of my strange experiences in the dream world. As my subconsciousness slipped away, floating from this world to the ethereal world of sleep, I found myself once again in the peculiar world of doors. Each door bore a particular design, some ornate and some plain, some foreboding and some welcoming. I knew that each of these doors would take me to a different dream world, a new landscape to explore and experience. At random, I approached one of the doors. Slowly, I turned the handle and opened it. Cautiously, yet confidently, crossing over the threshold into a newfound world I exited into. So here is where your story is taking place. Let's see what kind of door we enter into. Now, what I could do if I really wanted to make this completely AI based is go into ChatGPT and put the scenario in and have it determine it for me. There's a creator named DougDog that does this frequently with his Twitch chat, and lets Twitch chat decide what's going to happen next.
This is the true story of the American Revolutionary War. The one that historians are too afraid to tell you, because the American army was actually led by Twitch chat, and the British army was actually led by an AI version of King George III from Britain.
You shan't escape the long, cultured arm of Great Britain, you revolutionary turds!
I exited into a world of great imagination. Shout out to Willy Wonka. I exited into a world of great imagination. There were talking unicorns and giant fountains galore. There were mountains made of candy. The candy beckoned me to approach. So now when I click send, it's going to give me the reply. But what I can do is I can go in here and anything that I don't like, I can erase, I can edit, I can add anything to it, and everything's going to be color-coded. So what I add or what I change will always be a different color than what the AI changed. And what I entered will always be a different color than what the AI added onto. So you can always see what's getting added onto and what you can change and go back and do it that way. But let's see what the AI has said. I obliged and reached out to grab a piece of the succulent candy mountain, only to find that the closer I got, the further away the top of the mountain appeared to be. Just as the frustration and anger started to brew inside of me, the talking unicorn spoke to me. Just as the frustration and anger started to brew inside of me, the talking unicorn spoke to me. Don't wear a frown, you're in Candy Town, she said. We have magical Leopleurodons. We definitely don't want to do anything evil, like steal your liver or anything. But I need to have the candy, I muttered. Why, the unicorn asked. Because I do, I yelled. It is all that I desire. I can continue to go on with this, but for now, let's take a look at a different scenario. And if you couldn't guess, that was the first part of Charlie the Unicorn. Now, I'm going to come back into all scenarios, and I'm going to click on a text adventure. So let's see which one I would like to do. I do like some of these text adventures that came up before, so let's see if I can find those. Let's do this one by Maddie called Bored Vampire Lord. Play as an extremely bored ancient vampire who resorts to luring in a party of adventurers to serve as his playthings. But let's click in Phil. We'll put our name as... My name is Vlad Nine Toes McScrooge. So, same as the other prompt. This prompt is going to tell me some backstory. You are Nine Toes McScrooge, a powerful vampire lord. You have lived in your musty ancient castle for as long as you can remember, and you have to admit, it does feel kind of lonely sometimes. You only have the rats and spiders making their homes in the cracks here and there for company. You do get the occasional hapless victim to prey on, but they're no fun. Playing with your food is never fun. It's always a dull death upon your fangs. Some of them scream a little, beg for their life, but hey, that's about it. It gets old after the 1000th time. You don't even get to choose who it is. Variety would be nice. It's usually some obnoxious peasant begging to be turned into a vampire, craving immortality. Unfortunately for them, by the time one comes around to ask, they're usually craving blood. As the days go by, as dull as the gray clouds that hang above your castle, you find yourself growing. What do the mortals call it? Ah, yes, bored. No one has given you a fair challenge in decades, and because you're so efficient with your kills, there's not much of them left alive to crawl back to their village and spread horrifying tales about you. Just then, you get an idea. If adventurers won't come to you because they've never heard of you, maybe you can try telling them yourself. You think for a few moments on how best you're going to do this. Your arms rested on your black throne, and then it hits you. What's the easiest way to lure a bunch of adventurers into your castle? A quest. You don't spare another moment. You head to a nearby village in disguise and post up a quest giving directions to your castle, and with a request to slay you. The reward for it, you write down, is 1 million gold, a ridiculous amount that's bound to draw any greedy adventurer. Afterwards, you return to your castle. Your footsteps echo across the desolate halls as you take a seat on the throne again, waiting for the adventurers to come entertain you. Now that it's an adventure, I can either do something or I can say something. And again, the lore book comes up where you can flesh out. Maybe you want to add some more details to your people. If you have people coming over for a party, you can add some details to them to give them more backstory so that the AI knows what to do when it comes across a certain character. And you can always add onto it yourself. For right now, we are going to leave it blank and just let the AI do its thing. Up here in the dice, I didn't mention it before, but it can create a new title for you. So if you didn't want it to be the Bored Vampire Lord, you can click it and it will generate. Now it says The Adventures of the Castle Dracula. You can always edit this because we are McScrooge now. And now it's The Adventure of the Castle McScrooge. So when I entered this, it came up as blue text on the right side, and then the AI responded in white. So I can edit anything that I previously wrote. So if there's any spelling mistakes or anything, I can edit it from there and then resubmit it, because some editing mistakes might make the AI think something else that you're not actually trying to say. You open the castle doors to 5 odd-looking individuals. They all have weapons in their hands. Puny, ridiculous weapons like axes and shotguns, as if any of those would injure you. The 5 adventurers enter the castle and approach you with weapons drawn. They all seem surprised when they see you sitting there, expecting you to be up and about. So you have come for your reward. Well, do your worst. Your voice is booming and echoes through the great halls. You have the full attention of all 5 of them now. I go after the biggest one, a man holding a shotgun trying to aim his sights at me. I move at the speed of sound, so to me, the man is in slow motion. I take the man out with a swift kick, sending him flying across the great hall. He crashes into the wall with a loud bang and slides down. His body is limp. You've broken every bone in his body, but he's not dead yet. Now, sometimes when you get to a specific point in the story, somebody like this will come up. You can actually edit who it is, and you can come in and you can change who you want it to be. Again, you can change all this so that the AI, when you input information, it'll get a better idea of how to react. I didn't change any of this for right now, but everything over here you can edit, you can change, you can add a note specifically just for the AI. He will survive, however, he will surely wish he were dead after such a painful experience. What this is kind of just a point where you will see what the progress of your story has become. So it'll kind of help you move the story along and give you ideas on how to go next and what text to type in so that you can move the story in the right direction instead of staying still in the same spot. For right now, you can turn it off. We're just going to click got it. I'm going to stop the story here. If you'd like me to continue, let me know down below. Novel AI does store all of your previous stories on the left, so if I ever wanted to go back to Dream Diary or create a new story, I can always do that from here. And any story that I create from scratch will always save over here as well. So if I go back and then I go back, it'll save this. Like I said at the beginning, Novel also will let you generate images. However, websites like Playground and Ideogram are much better at that than Novel is for now. I made videos of those before, so click on the pop-up card to find out more about those. Novel does have text-to-speech, where it will put anything that you type in into its own model. However, there are websites that do specifically that, especially 11 Labs, that is very good, and I highly recommend that one. So for the most part, Novel AI is definitely geared more towards making a story and building out an adventure rather than anything else. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, let me know down below, and let me know if you want me to continue the stories that we have made so far. And if there's anything else that you want me to delve more deep into, tell me down in the comments, and I'll see you there.